So welcome you all on day 2, session 2. Let me introduce Mr. Shaan. Mr. Shaan is a young entrepreneur and founder of Carmet Tech Center. He has been involved in training, coaching, and consulting for more than 6 years with the intention of enhancing auto knowledge and patience of young minds. Prior to start he has own business. He has worked in Mahindra and Mahindra R&D for 3 years, gathering grasp on various automobile dynamics. Shan is also an approved NSDC lead trainer. Mr. Shan is an expert in vehicle integration, testing and validation, vehicle dynamics, and automotive product development. Academically, Shan holds a Bachelor of Engineering in Automobile Engineering from Gujarat. He is an organizing committee member of Mahindra Baha SAE, India's largest undergraduate event. He is also a professional member of SAE India, actively take part in SAE International Social Initiative. Shan is a trained leader currently helping 5 automotive entrepreneurs to achieve their dreams. He is also one of the investors of 2 startups working in the field of green technology. He has a vision aligned with the Prime Minister Make in India and Startup India to bring out young entrepreneurs in this country. He is also the partner of Monitoring Work Skills, which aim to establish a start of the Art Skill Development Center in the country in line with the government PMKY scheme. He is a passionate driver and certified off-road racer. He has taken a part in many national level races and also won the few of them. He is also trained student in the race dynamics and give tips for making the racing strategies of various components. So I would like to welcome Shan on this FDP, Automobile Engineering Past, Present and Future. So now I request to Mr. Shan to take the charge of this session and start the technical session. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Yagnesh. It was a very elaborative, what we can say, introduction, which was not required actually. So, first thing, a little introduction of myself to the forum. I am a pass out of ADIT ADIT college itself in 2008. Sanjay sir was one of my faculties in my engineering, and he has invited me again for the FDP program. So it feels great to be back, joining hands with ADIT in developing the current faculties as well as contributing to the college again back in some or the other way. I feel very delighted by the thought of it as well. Now coming back to the session, so we are going to discuss about automobile past, present, and future. So anybody can just tell me what does it mean and what will be the session about. I would like to make the session very much interactive. So feel free to say anything. You can interrupt me in between or also say that would make the session more interesting and we will be able to communicate in a better way for better understanding. So what do you understand by the topic past, present and future? What are we going to discuss in this? Anyone?
Any participants?
Anyone? Is everybody back to the session?
Yeah, I think we hope so.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Hello.
Yes, tell me.
Advancement in automobile engineering is the topic today.
Okay. So we are talking about past, present, and future. So how is that going to connect?
Because means now EV is the growing trend, and some better advancement means EV. If EV is not there, in engine also the different advances are there. So that should be.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. And what about past?
Past means the conventional engine means some drawbacks are there, no?
Okay.
Some challenges are there.
Okay.
How we should overcome that. So if we have the thorough knowledge of that, we can speak we can accept that challenges.
Okay. So I will say there is a different understanding for me altogether in this, what we are going to do. So we will be talking about how the automobile in itself, it was born, from where it was born, and what is the current trend, and what as a automotive industry in India we are aiming for. We have a lot of technical knowledge. Everybody is a faculty here, so they are thorough with the what we'll say a pure technical part, which is that what was the conventional engine, what are a few advances going on, like from a DI, how we came to CRD and everything, so that everybody is aware of. But what I feel we lack is the vision that where we want to go in automotives. That is one thing. For India, government has made certain plan regarding to automotive mission plan 2026. What is that? With that, what we want to achieve, and how we need to prepare our students to let people achieve that dream, or India achieve that dream of the automotive mission plan what India has made. Anybody have any questions on that? Okay, let's start the session. Okay, so we will be talking about automobile past, present, and future. Now, if we see that automobile, what, why, when, these are the topics what we are going to study. So, automotive industry, legacies, vehicle product cycle, life cycle, vehicle categorization, automobile architecture specification in terms, vehicle systems, fuels, automotive safety and essentials, advanced technologies, electric and hybrid vehicle, new vehicle launches, and the future of automobiles, what we are heading towards. So we'll start with what is automobile? How the term automobile got derived? Can anybody tell me that? How we, what is the meaning, exact meaning of automobile and how it came? Anybody can answer that? What is the exact meaning of automobile? Okay, I'll move ahead
Hello.
with this. Yes.
Automatically means with the less effort, automatically mobile things, movable things with a comfort zone.
Right. So if we change it auto, it means basically self, movable by self. It does not need any external power to move the vehicle, right? So the word
Okay.
automobile is a classic compound derived from the ancient Greek words auto. Word autos means self, and then the Latin word mobilis means movable. So a car is a wheeled self-powered motor vehicle used for transportation and a product of the automotive industry. Now, when the first car was patented by Carl Benz in 1886, you can see the photograph of that over here. And then the other, you can see Model T Ford Motor Company, which came into the official production in 1919 by Mr. Henry Ford, Sir Henry Ford, basically. Then, if we see the global automotive trend, we see that in India, the automotive market is growing up to a big scale. But still, we are not even in top 5 of the productions in all over the world. If you see, China is having the maximum sales, 27%, with 18.6% of population ratio, whereas in India the population ratio is 17.9%, against the sales is only 2%, because we are still developing, the infrastructure is not yet developed, and also the individual people income is also getting developed, and more people are right now buying cars. But if you go 10 years or 15 years down the line, the scenario was totally different. So we are growing, but still there is a huge scope where we can grow. You can just have a look at it. Population wise, US is only 13.5%. Still, they have a sales of 23%. Europe, if you go, 9.9%, 17%. Similarly, you can just have a look at it. In case of Japan, the population share is only 1.7%, but sales is 8%, which is 4 times that of India. And population is 1/5 or 1/10 of India. So if we see this, we understand that there is a huge scope of growth, and we can have a big boom in automotive industry, and the boom is still going on. Right now, the scenario is we see that every 15 days, 20 days, or a month, a new vehicle is launched. Now, anybody can tell me in India, what is the trend we are seeing in the launching of the vehicle? What kind of vehicles are being launched more? As per the, everybody is aware about the automotive market. So what kind of vehicle we see that are launching more than the other category? Anybody?
SUV.
SUVs. Okay, why SUVs? Why SUVs?
Price, comfort, safety.
Price, comfort,
Safety.
safety, or
Safety.
or is it more about the feel of the vehicle? Like Indian mindset, if you say Indian customers, what they feel is they like to be seated at the height. They like to be in what we say a general mindset of a people, that if it is a big car, people will value us more. Kind of that. See, if you talk about technically, comfort is more in sedan than SUV. Yes or no?
Yes.
But still, we say that SUV is more comfortable, or we are just trying to, what we can say, understand, make ourselves things understand in a different way, but the things are perspectively very different. So, Indian market is growing in terms of, because we see that SUVs, now SUVs are there. There are many new SUVs which are launched, which do not have any sports capability as such, but they are still named as SUVs. For example, if you say any example of it, what it would be? They are named as SUVs, but they don't have any such feature or capability that they can handle the terrain which a actual SUV can handle. Any examples for that? There are many of them. If you can point out few of them. Okay, so we'll understand the Indian auto industry ambitions. Now, Indian automotive industry is to be the engine of the Make in India program. Now, it is one of the significant contributor to the Skill India program as well, because of the workforce required to develop all the automobiles. And if you see FY 15 and 26 base case, we see that components aftermarket exports, what is the growth we are expecting? In the number of vehicles, OEM exports, value addition, component imports, and system components in-house and domestic. Now, if you notice a trend over here, with the overall growth, the imports are getting reduced, but Make in India things are getting increased. We are importing a lot of things for manufacturing our automobile right now from other countries, but over the period of time, we are looking towards being self-sustainable. Self-sustainable is, it means that we are not looking forward for more. We want to reduce the import of parts from other countries. Now, if you see that vision statement of Automotive Mission Plan 2026, it says that by 2026, the Indian automotive industry will be among the top 3 of the world in engineering, manufacture and export of vehicles and auto components, and will encompass safe, efficient and environment friendly conditions for affordable mobility of people and transportation of goods in India comparable with global standards, growing in value to over 12% of India's GDP and generating an additional 65 million jobs. So that's a huge number, 65 million jobs being in a top 3. So that's a lot of work to do. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Now, how are we going to achieve? So, anybody, as everybody might be following some of the other automotive news, last, if I say 4-5 months down the line, there was a one big step in automotive industry which has been taken, or basically the step was taken long back, but it has inaugurated the facility to enhance the development of the vehicles in India. Can anybody name that facility and what's the purpose of it? The facility which was inaugurated couple of months back for the development of automobiles in India, and it is one of the best in class across the globe.
Scrapping policy.
Any idea? No. No, I'm not talking about policy. I'm talking about the facility, vehicle facility. Any idea? Anyone? Anybody have heard about Netrax? Anyone? No one have heard about Netrax? Okay. So Netrax is basically automotive testing or proving grounds, which is developed in Madhya Pradesh near to Indore in an industrial hub called Pitampur. So it's developed in 2,800 acres, and it is having a high speed track of 11.6 kilometers, which are neutral steer of 250. So, and the vehicle can go up to 320, 350 speed, and they can be developed over there. There are similarly many different tracks of handling, dynamics, braking pads with different mu ratios. So many things are there over there at that test track, and it is one of the best globally. Even the testing tracks which are in UK and all, it surpasses in terms of quality with those test tracks. Previously, now what used to happen is when we used to when we wanted to test such things, the vehicle used to be exported to UK or US, and the vehicles were tested over there, and then the results were done. Now the facility is available in India itself, and so what do you think it can impact? It's a big impact. What it will make to the automotive industry. Now, as we see that there are many brands what we see, but many brands are connected with each other. One of the biggest automotive conglomerate is Volkswagen, as you can see in the presentation, owns Audi, Seat, Skoda, Bugatti, Porsche, Lamborghini, Ducati, Scania, MAN, Bentley. Everything is owned by Volkswagen Group. Similarly, this is one of the foreign groups. Now, if we talk about India group, then Mahindra and Tata are the biggest automotive conglomerates, which are owning different brands, international as well as Indian. So Indian is Mahindra, then SsangYong is Korean brand, then Peugeot, and then Pininfarina. All are owned by Mahindra. If we talk about Tata, they are owning Daimler, Jaguar, Lanchester, Land Rover, MG, and Rover. So if you see this, other than that, anybody can give me example of any other brand family? Any other brand family which exists not presented in this brand family? Anyone? If I say a name, General Motors, now what other brand comes in General Motor? No one? Okay, now we have a vehicle product life cycle. How a product is made or how do we perceive why SUVs are more? So this will go through with this product life cycle. Like once a product concept is established after the market research. Now I will come to that when the cycle closes. So product is conceptualized, it is designed, it is engineered. After it is engineered, then the development part takes place. Once the development is done, then parallelly sourcing also starts. After the sourcing, product pricing, then the validation and testing. Once the validation and testing is complete, vehicle goes for mass production, manufacturing, and then sales. Now what happens in sales is after the sales start, we receive different customer feedbacks, like what is supposed to be in what vehicle, is this feature missing, what is the customer expectations from the vehicle, are they met or not met, and accordingly with all those data, the service department or marketing department give it to the product conceptualization team, and then they develop the next series of product. So in this, what is the major challenge for an automotive company is when they are starting to develop a new product, they need to see at least 4 years down the line, because to develop a new product, it takes 3 to 4 years if you are developing a new product line. So the challenge is with the current understanding of the customer, you need to see what the customer may need 4 years after, and then they design the product and conceptualize it. So this is how we need to move ahead in time, and we need to make students also understand that if you are thinking something, think of future, not of present or not of past. We need to move ahead, so we need to think beforehand. We need to perceive things, what other people will be thinking. We need to do surveys. We need to understand that what a customer will be feeling. If 5 years down the line, I would need a vehicle, say I want something, this feature to be there in the car or that feature to be there in the car, and accordingly the product conceptualization take place. Now vehicles are classified into different categories but different terminologies. Now first is purpose. Is it a passenger vehicle or is it a goods carrier? Then it is a capacity. Is it a heavy motor vehicle, light motor vehicle, or medium vehicle? Then fuel source. Is it a petrol engine, diesel engine, gas engine, solar powered, hybrid vehicle, electric vehicle, hybrid electric vehicle? What kind of a vehicle it is? Then comes type of transmission. Is it manual or auto transmission? Then number of wheels. Is it a two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler, six and above? Then based on drive, is it a left-hand drive or a right-hand drive according to the different markets? Then there is another categorization of the vehicle in which the form of the vehicle is there, like hatchback, SUV, sedan, and sub 4 meter. Does anybody know what is sub 4 meter and why this category is emerged in, I would say, last 10 years or so? What is sub 4 meter and why it is emerged in Indian market? Specifically Indian market I'm talking about right now for sub 4 meter. Why is this category existing and what is the reason of it? Anybody? Anybody? See, I would like you to discuss the things. It will create a better understanding, and also we will be, if we interact, the session is going to be more interesting. Yes, anybody? Someone was saying something. Why sub 4 meter? Anyone? What is sub 4 meter category? Why it has emerged in Indian market?
I think it is a.
Hi, Shaan. Yeah, Yagnesh.
Hi.
you was-
Hi,
yeah,
Manoj.
Yep. That is because government has introduced the rules and regulations regarding all the duties, import duties and all. And it will be beneficial for the customer for if they purchase this sub 4 meter kind of vehicles, no matter
So
whether it is a
basically,
mid-size sedan or an mid-size SUV.
right. So basically, the taxation is very different for sub 4 meter, in which a customer is able to get a similar category of vehicle but at a lesser price because of the length of the vehicle.
Yeah.
So in India, the taxation is based on length of the vehicle. So for sub 4 meters, the taxation is different. Above 4 meters, the taxation is different. And accordingly, the taxes are made. So the customers are benefited in sub 4 meter. They have a similar kind of a vehicle, but with lesser tax. So this is a new emerged category, what we have seen in last 10 years coming in Indian market. Now we move ahead with this. Now, architecture specification and terms. Now, this is a basic vehicle structure, or we can say architecture wherein I guess many of you would be aware about it. If we start from like engine, then transmission, axles or transaxles. Transaxle and transmission is very similar. There is a small difference in it. Can anybody tell me the difference? What is the difference between a gearbox or transaxle or transmission and transaxle? Anyone? What is the difference between transaxle and transmission? No one? Okay. We move on to further aggregates like alternator, coolant reservoir, intake manifold, battery, brake line, steering wheel, muffler, tailpipe, fuel tank, shock absorbers, coil spring, drum brake, fuel line, accelerator, brake pedal, distributor, differential, master brake cylinder, disc brake. So these are the basic vehicle architecture and how it is laid out on the vehicle. Now, laying out a vehicle structure is one of the most important aspect of developing a vehicle, which requires vehicle integration. Does anybody know what a vehicle integration means, or what is the exact purpose of vehicle integration? Can anybody explain me that? What is vehicle integration? Anyone? No answers. Jagnesh, is everybody present or they are not there? Jagnesh?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
So, are the people here or not?
Yeah, sir.
Nobody said. Or they are just have muted and doing some other work.
No, sir. No. Wait for a minute. I think from the audience, please give the answer.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody is
So let
written
me
in
come
the
back
chat.
to the presentation. I saw the message.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So, vehicle integration, why it is important is when we are like, if in case suppose I have made a specification that I need a vehicle which need to run at say on so and so speed and it needs to deliver a fuel economy of this. Now I have developed an engine for that aspect, that this engine will be able to deliver that kind of a fuel economy and this kind of a power and everything. Similarly, I have also developed, for instance, transmission for the similar case. But if suppose transmission is of the specification I need, engine is also of the specification I need, but they need to be coupled together. They need to fit together, they need to sit inside a car together, and they need to perform together. If the integration between the transmission and the engine and the tires is not in sync, will we be able to get that performance? No. So we need to understand that vehicle integration is one of the important aspect wherein everything should be integrated to each other. If I talk about engine obviously it is one of the main heart of the automotive, wherein it provides power, it makes the vehicle run and everything. But other than that, engine also needs support from many people to run efficiently, and engine also gives support to other systems to run efficiently. For example, brakes. Your vacuum booster works because there is a vacuum pump attached to engine which helps brakes getting applied efficiently. Similarly, the engine also give power to, in case of a hydraulic power steering, to steering pump so that the steering can be efficient. Similarly, engine also gives power to your HVAC unit to run the compressor so that your HVAC can perform. And if we say about other system, what engines get support from, now in latest vehicles, engine is equipped with many sensors and actuators, and it works on the reading it gets from different people. So there are wheel speed sensors on each wheel. That sensors are given input to the engine, and then do the power need to be cut off or not? It is getting decided from that. We'll discuss on that in detail a little bit more. Then there is a fuel system. If the fuel system is not working efficiently, will the engine be able to give that power? No. If the cooling system is not able to cool the engine in an efficient way, will the engine be able to be efficient, or engine will be able to prove its life? Not possible. So there are many things which are collaborated together so that the vehicle can work efficiently and in the way we want it to work. That is called vehicle integration, where all the systems are taken into consideration before designing particular system. That do I need to give support or have support, and what kind of a support it is, and how well I am going to do it. And accordingly, the design of the vehicle is finalized. Then if you say this is basic: suspension, steering, rear axle, front axle, basic thing this is of electric vehicle. If we talk about right now over here, this is electric vehicle architecture. If you say this is driveline and chassis of the vehicle, which is a body on chassis type of vehicle, so engine, transmission, propeller shaft, differential, it is distributed to the thing, and then at the last you can see fuel tank and the exhaust connected. Now there are basic terminologies which we need to understand. Now, what is speed versus acceleration? What is the difference? What is speed and what is acceleration? Anybody, what is the difference between speed versus acceleration? Is simple. Anybody can tell me the difference between average versus mileage. Both of the terms are used on regular basis, but both have a different meaning in terms of a pure automotive language. Anyone, what is average and what is mileage?
From the audience? Anyone?
No one? Okay. Okay, let me explain it. Average is basically on regular basis, which we calculate as a customer, that this is the vehicle average I am getting. Mileage is a term used specifically for the when we see in the automotive advertisements, or we see in the brochures of the car, that this is the claimed mileage of a company under specific test conditions. So that is basically mileage. That will not be called as average when it is declared by the company with under specific test conditions. So that is mileage, and average is, as a customer, what we calculate on daily basis, that what is the fuel economy our vehicle is giving. Now, what is safety versus road safety? Now, one is the safety of the passenger, wherein we are talking about the safe car, how is the occupant safe inside enough, and what are the safety parameters. Road safety is we are talking about when the vehicle is moving on road, what are the parameters being taken care so that the other vehicles on the road are safe, they have a safe road to drive on, wherein the accidents can be minimized. And so road safety rules are basically speed limits, the road size, shoulders, camber of the road. These all comes in road safety, and safety specifically in terms of automotive comes in with the vehicle safety, which it provides to the occupant of the vehicle. Now gear shifting, gear shifting is the normal shift you do, and crash is basically when you do not press the clutch properly and then you hear that annoying noise. That is gear crash. Pedals, ABC, torque versus power, emissions, exhaust, track width, wheelbase, homologations, regulations. Then anybody have any doubt in any of them for understanding any specific term which they are not clear with what is this exact actually means? So you can just go through it. I'll wait for 30 seconds. If anybody have any doubt in it, they can just ask me on this. Okay, we'll move ahead. Now specifications, engine ka how, what are the specifications? Engine type, bore and stroke, torque, RPM, capacity, power, transmission, gearbox and transfer case, steering, rack and pinion, or what kind of a steering it is, power steering, manual steering, electric steering, suspension. IFS is independent front suspension, torsion bar, anti-roll bar, then leaf spring. These are different things. Brakes, disc brakes, drum brakes, hydraulic assisted brakes, what kind of ABS or TCS, what kind of a brake it is. Hub type, tube tires, if we say steel rim, alloy wheels, tubeless tires, tube type tires. Then vehicle dimensions, width and height, wheelbase, ground clearance, wheel track, approach angle, departure angle, and ramp over angle as well if you can want to include. Fuel tank capacity, sensors and mileage indicators, seating capacity. So these are the different specifications what we see in a normal vehicle handout. Anybody have any doubt in any of the understanding of the terms, what it is, and what it is? Anybody have any understanding on those parameters? Or they want to understand any particular parameter over here? Okay, we'll move ahead.
Yes, sir.
Now, if we see the latest version of Toyota Innova Crista, yes, anybody was saying something?
No, you may continue.
Hello?
Continue.
Okay. Yes, I'm going ahead. Okay. Now, if we talk about the latest version of Innova Crista, now they have equipped it with many features which involves active safety. I think so. Nibandhi sir was also covering a little about active safety systems, what I understood from the end of the session in the closing part. So now, what are the new features we are seeing in the vehicles which help a driver in driving and making the vehicle safe for the occupants as well as for the people outside? Now, one of the feature is hill assist control, downhill assist control. Basically, when the vehicle is on a slope, a driver is assisted by car so that the vehicle does not roll over when he is changing gear, or maybe he is going uphill, or when he is descending, the vehicle do not overspeeds. It is coming descending on in a controlled way. Now, active safety for maneuvering is anti-lock braking system, brake assist, traction control, vehicle stability control, vehicle dynamics integrated management, tire pressure monitoring system. Or anybody, I don't know if somebody have heard a term about called ADAS, Advanced Driving Assist System. Now, what does ADAS cover? Anybody have heard about this term, Advanced Driving Assist System? Anybody? Or what are the features we have in the latest vehicles which are remarkable and which helps a lot to be on track, and it helps in driving of the vehicle? What are those? Anybody? No one? No one?
Sir, I request to kindly explain because the audience having no idea about it.
Okay, so advanced driving assist system is basically uh, dynamic radar cruise control. It's one of the feature. Now, what is dynamic radar cruise control? We have heard about cruise control a lot, in which suppose we are driving at a speed of 60, we make the cruise on, and the vehicle keeps on driving at 60. You can take off your legs from the clutch pedal, brake pedal, accelerator pedal, and the vehicle will keep on running at the same speed. But you need to be very alert in that condition, that suppose a vehicle ahead of it brakes, or maybe there is some other vehicle came from the side and comes in front of you. At that time you need to brake, and you need to be alert at all the time when using that feature. Now with dynamic radar cruise control, what happens is the vehicle does this for you. Suppose if the vehicle in front of you brakes, the vehicle will your vehicle will automatically slow down if the distance is not safe between the vehicle. Once the distance is safe again, the vehicle will again speed up to that speed which you have set, and it will keep on going. Then another feature which we have is called lane keeping assist. Now lane keeping assist is when the roads are clearly marked with all the lines, it is active. It can be active only in that condition. That's the first thing, which is a prerequisite for it. Now lane keeping assist, what happens is when we are driving for a long duration, we tend to sometimes be sleepy, or we tend to suppose maybe we are having a sip of a water or something like that when we are driving. You might have experienced that thoda we go to here and there in the lanes by mistake. It's not by purpose. So when the lane keeping assist feature is on, the vehicle will not tend to change the lane, if your concentration on driving is not there, it will tend to keep vehicle in the same lane. So that is another feature. Then lane departure alert. Now lane departure alert is basically when we are overtaking, or we tend to see that uh, sometimes if we are overtaking a longer wheelbase vehicle like a trailer or a truck or something like that, when do we need to come back to our lane so that we are safe enough and the truck is not going to hit? So it helps in that. Then navigation brake assist. Again, navigation brake assist is something when suddenly the obstacle jumps in between or something comes in between, the vehicle will automatically apply brake. Then road sign assist. Now road sign assist is a very different feature. On the road, there are many places the road signs are there that the speed limit is 40, or the breaker ahead, or speed breakers ahead, rumble strip ahead, pothole ahead. There are many road signs which are there on the road, which we usually tend to miss them. In this case, a vehicle will study a road sign, and suppose it is written that in India right now it is still a problem, but some places it has been applied in a very proper way. So if suppose the speed limit is 40 of particular road, the car will read that the road sign has been given 40 speed limit, and if you tend to speed more than 40, it will give you a beep in your car or information in your car that you are going over speed than the prescribed on this particular road. I'll share an example. What happened with me is there is a road, very good 4-lane road, tends to remain empty, but it is a part of the city. So the speed limit over there is restricted to only 40. It's one of my regular driving roads, so I used to go 60, 70 always. Once there were the traffic police with the speed gun, and they stopped me and they issued me a overspeeding ticket. Now I was like, why overspeeding ticket? Well, see, this is the road sign 40, and as per me, I'm driving daily on that road, but I've never noticed that it is written 40 over here. So we need this feature will help us understand that what is the speed limit of what, and how can we be alert of following all the rules and regulations. And also it is for our safety. Then for pedestrian also, there is like approaching vehicle audible system. If suppose a pedestrian comes too close to a vehicle, the vehicle will make a sound so that the pedestrian is being alerted and he can make himself safe or move away from the path of the vehicle. Anybody have any questions on this? Adas? Anyone? Shall we move ahead?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if we talk about fuel, there are renewable fuels and fossil fuels. So, renewable, everybody is about solar energy, wind energy, etc. Then, obviously, fossil fuels are made from crude oil, which we can see the distribution over here. Now, fossil fuels are fuel obtained from crude oil extracted from the fossils. Typically, crude oil contains around 20% of gasoline or petrol and 10% of diesel, which are most commonly used to power the engines of automobile. Apart from above, there are alternate fuels which are derived from other sources, which are electricity, biodiesel, ethanol, propane, hydrogen, and natural gas. Now, if we are talking about alternate fuels, ethanol and biodiesel is one of the fuels which India is targeting to produce more. What is the plan is right now we are blending 5% of ethanol to or 5% of biodiesel to diesel so that the consumption of fossil fuel is reduced a little bit. But over the few years, we are targeting that the blend should be minimum 20%. So once the blend is 20%, you can understand the consumption of fossil fuel is going to reduce by that particular percentage only, whatever percentage we increase in ethanol. And ethanol and all are alternate fuel which are produced synthetically, or we can say it can be produced by farming. There are different kinds of biodiesel. Many of you might have heard we need to grow, and then by sugarcane also the fuel is made, the bagasse what we say, and then jatrofa also. So there are many alternate fuels which we are trying to establish and manufacture, and they will be blended in gasoline or petrol so that the consumption of the fossil fuels is reduced. And it is going to be by law after a few years that the blending is compulsory, and the percentage will be also close to 20% by which the blending should be there. In automotive safety, if we see about, there are active safety and passive safety. Can anybody tell me the difference between active safety and passive safety? Anyone? What is active safety and what is passive safety? No one? Okay, I'll explain it. Now, just a minute. Passive safety is basically protect the occupant in the event of crash. So basically, when the accident happens, at that time, how the occupant will be protected, it all is a part of passive safety. Example, airbags, wherein, or seat belts. These are all passive safety. Now, what is active safety is basically any safety system which avoids the occurrence of crash. Example, ABS. ABS will prevent the accident, or we can say traction control system. It will prevent the accident, or advanced driving assist system, what we discussed. These are all active safety systems which will avoid the occurrence of a crash. Whereas passive safety system protect the occupant in the event of crash. Now there are active safety systems, example anti-lock braking system, electronic stability control, reverse sensors, tire pressure monitoring, emergency brake assistance, mirror, adaptive lighting, seatbelt reminder, lane departure. Passive is airbags, laminated windscreen, energy absorbing brackets, cargo protection, collapsible steering column, pedestrian protection system, seat belts, anti-intrusion bar, crumple zone. Now, if you buy a new car, these safety features you should consider before buying a car, like airbags, anti-lock braking system, electronic stability program, autonomous emergency braking, lane departure warning, blind spot monitoring system, and fatigue monitoring system. Now, what happens is, if we consider the Indian mindset of purchasing a vehicle, when we go to purchase a vehicle, many people tend to buy a bigger vehicle with lesser features. Am I right or wrong? How many of you will be agreeing to my thing? Do we tend to buy a bigger vehicle with less feature, or we tend to buy a smaller vehicle with more such safety features? What is our understanding? What do we want?
Smaller vehicle with more safety.
Okay, everybody agrees to her? I would suggest
Yes.
be realistic than idealistic right now. What we do and what should be done is a different thing. What we generally do, or what Indian customers do when they go to buy a vehicle. Anyone?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Generally, Indian people go after the efficiency. They think that if vehicle cost is low and I am getting more average, then I will buy this. Generally, I don't have any issue with that particular company, but generally people is focusing on Maruti Suzuki because it gives efficient more average. But
Okay.
in safety issue, Maruti is far behind other vehicles.
Okay. Any other viewpoint? In suppose if I talk about Maruti also, I'll give you an example. You are having say Desire top end and Sia's base end. Okay. The difference between both the vehicles is very less, but the size of the vehicle is different. Which one would you recommend? Now both are Maruti.
Of course, yes.
Why? It doesn't have safety features.
Uh, if I am comparing both low-level vehicles, then I will go for the higher, bigger
No,
size of vehicle.
no. My question. I'll repeat my question.
Okay.
When we are talking about, you have a budget of say 10 lakh rupees. Okay, 10, 11 lakh rupees. But
Okay.
in that desired top end, which all the features is coming at 10, 11 lakh rupees. Okay. But at the
Hmm.
same cost, you are getting Sia's base end, but there are no safety features in it. Which will you prefer?
Uh, if I'm talking about me, I will not generally go for Maruti, but general people will go for the bigger vehicle, means Ciaz,
Yeah,
because
so that's
they
what,
think, uh,
yeah, so that's what my point is over here. So what happens is we tend to ignore safety when we are trying to buy a vehicle. We go for
right.
other lucrative things than safety being the prime aspect, because when we are driving, the biggest concern is our safety, or not the looks of the vehicle or some other thing. So we when we are as we are also faculty, we need to develop that understanding in the students as well, and to communicate it further, that when you are looking forward to buy a vehicle, if the safety systems are available, and right now the death with or accident rate have increased considerably, right? So we need to consider all the safety parameters, although buy a smaller vehicle, but still go for the safety aspects as well, because that is one of the primary things which everybody needs to consider when purchasing the vehicle, right? We need to communicate this to our students as well, and tell them to communicate more to people, so that they are also, we want to make right now the biggest struggle in Indian automotive market is the awareness of the features and things are not there. If I talk about to generic public about anti-lock braking system, the understanding of ABS is totally different what it actually does. People don't know what actually the meaning of ABS is, and they do not want to understand it as well. Right now the ABS is mandatory, so it is very good. But before that, when ABS was not mandatory, people used to say that why ABS ऐसा कुछ नहीं करता. So we need to come over that and clear the understanding that what features will help you out in what way, so that people look more towards safety features of a vehicle than other blink features, what I would say. Okay, moving ahead now. How does a anti-lock braking system work? Can anybody explain me that? How does a ABS works? Anyone? So ABS is nothing but it prevents the locking of the wheels and it prevents the slip of vehicle. So when you are suppose driving at a speed of 50, 60 or 70 and you see that suddenly there is an obstacle or there is a car in front of you or there is a man in front of you, you tend to brake harsh or panic braking, what we use a technical term as. And in case of panic braking, what happens is if the vehicle is not equipped with ABS, the wheel tend to lock. When the wheel locks, the vehicle starts skidding, and if the vehicle is skidding, you cannot steer the vehicle. The steerability of the vehicle is not possible. Hence, the car goes out of control and it will go in any direction which is not of your choice, and it can go into the obstacle itself, and the accident may happen. In case of ABS, what it does is like we brake once, the ABS can have a cycle of braking 50 times, 20 to 50 times in a second. So it prevents the locking of the wheels and you can steer the vehicle while braking and prevent the vehicle from the obstacle. As you can see in the image, with and without ABS, what is the difference? In without ABS, you see that the vehicle has hit the obstacle and moving straight, whereas in case of ABS, you are easily able to maneuver the vehicle off the obstacle and you are safe. Now, airbag. We will have a short video of airbag. We'll just have a look at it. Okay. So next is what does airbag consist of? Its airbag module contains both inflator unit and lightweight fabric airbag. diagnostic unit constantly monitors airbag readiness and indicates if any malfunction in the system. Crash sensor senses sudden acceleration or impact in the event of crash and flips it to activate airbag. Airbag deployment, how it happens is car crashes into an obstacle at 20 plus miles per hour, sensor detect the deceleration and inflator unit is activated. To guard against the accidental inflation of hard braking, centers detect collision into a solid barrier at a speed greater than 8 to 14 miles per hour. Then electric current is used to heat a filament wire that ignites the capsules to produce 67 liters of nitrogen to inflate an airbag. Airbag inflates within 0.05 seconds of a crash, and after full inflation, the airbag deflates through tiny pores on the surfaces within 0.3 seconds. Now, this is one video of hill ascent and descent control, what we discussed before. So you can have a look at it, how it is there. Then we have another like automatic transmission. Everybody might have heard about it. Is the what we say epicyclic gear train, wherein the system is very complicated. With the bends, we try to control the gear change, and then there is a torque converter in between the engine and the gearbox, and the automatic transmission works in that particular way. The newer thing which we have developed is the automated manual transmission. Anybody knows about automated manual transmission, what it is? Anybody can explain me what is AMT? Anyone? Okay. So in the conventional automatic gearbox, what we used to see that because of torque converter, the efficiency of the system used to reduce because there was no physical coupling. As it is a fluid coupling. Now, in case of an automated manual transmission, it is completely, the system is same as the manual transmission. It is just that for the clutch engagement and disengagement and the gear shifting, it is controlled by the mechatronic system, wherein the solenoids are there to engage and disengage clutch, and also to change the gears to a particular thing. And then there is a, what we can say, transmission control unit, which takes care of the shifting of gears. But rest all, the gearbox and is a normal synchromesh gearbox which is there in the manual car, and then there is a physical clutch, or in some advanced cases, in case of AMT, there is a dual clutch system as well. Then micro hybrid technology. Now, what is micro hybrid technology? It was the name given by Mahindra. Is basically when at the time of traffic signals, we see that the traffic signal goes up to 2 minutes to 3 minutes of halt. At that time, the vehicle will automatically shut off, and as soon as you press the clutch again to engage in the gear, the vehicle will restart. And hence, when you are idle at the traffic signal, the vehicle will turn off, and hence save the fuel at the same time. Then rain sensing wipers. Rain sensing wipers, again, you can have a look at the video. It activates the wipers automatically when you see that when the rain is there, and also adjusts the speed of the wipers, which is to be done manually in other cases, and in this case it will be done automatically. You can just have a look at the video. Then we have a new feature, is called daytime running lamp. You might have seen that right now many of the vehicles are equipped with LED lamps, which are continuously on throughout the day as well. What happens is, when the day is too bright on highways, the visibility of the car is not there. But in case of with the DRLs, the vehicle visibility is increased. As soon as you switch on the headlights, the DRLs are switched off. It consumes very less power in comparison to headlamps, and they significantly reduce road deaths and serious injuries. The video of small Mahindra E2O, which was released long back. This is a good video to just have a look at it. There is a Toyota Prius where we are talking about the hybrid car, which has a power mode, EV mode, and eco mode. So in this, the Prius can give a fuel economy of up to 25 to 30 kilometers per liter by the combination of electric vehicle and the gasoline vehicle and the conventional engine. So in power mode, it's basically all gasoline. EV mode only uses the electric vehicle and no gasoline. And in eco mode, it is combination of both, wherein the EV and the engine is used as per the requirement of the driving. Then blind spot monitor provides a visual warning that displayed in your side in mirror to inform the vehicles approaching your blind spot. Heads up display is basically the navigation or the speed is projected on the windshield so that you don't have to glance at the speedometer or at the infotainment system to have a look at it, so the accidents can be prevented. Then different SRS airbags, pre-collision system with pedestrian detection helps keep the road safe by detecting a vehicle or pedestrian. Automatic high beams uses a camera to help detect oncoming vehicle as far as 2000 feet, automatically switch the high beams on and off. In India, particularly when we drive on a double road, we see that the vehicles approaching from the front are mostly on high beams and the visibility of the road is reduced a lot. So in this case, when the vehicle is approaching, the vehicle will automatically go to dipper, and again when the vehicle passes away, it will again go to the high beam for the better visibility. The benefits of driving electric vehicle is driving electric car can save you more than 70% of fuel costs. Driving electric means no tailpipe emissions, helping to preserve the environment. Electricity is made largely domestic sources, helping to reduce the dependence on foreign oil, and electric vehicle owners tend to have higher satisfaction levels with the cars compared to non-electric vehicle owners. Different electric vehicle types are plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, extended range electric vehicle, and battery electric vehicle. So there is a lot of research going on right now in development of electric vehicles, and soon, maybe in coming 3 to 4 years, we will see many models. Right now we have a limited 4 to 5 models available in market for electric vehicles, but 2-3 years down the line we will be having at least 20 to 25 different electric vehicles which will be running on road. Then electric vehicle charging infrastructure is basically level 1, level 2 and level 3 charging. AC charging is a slow charging wherein you can have a look at the charge time for 3 to 5 miles. It's like 3.3 kilowatt, 6.6 kilowatt, 9.6 kilowatt. And how much is the charge per hour? In level 2, it increases. If you have a 19.2 kilowatt hour, in 1 hour, you can have a range of up to 100 kilometers. And if you go for DC fast charging in 100 kilowatt, then in 1 hour, you can have a range up to 300 miles. Although the vehicle should be capable of having this kind of a charging facility available with the vehicle infrastructure available. But everything is in research, and mostly we will see that the things will be available in market, and the charging infrastructure in India is developing, and many people are working on developing the infrastructure. So soon we will be able to see a good infrastructure for running and owning an electric vehicle in India. Then more than 80% of residential fleet charging is done at home. Workplace charging is on the rise, and suppose many companies in India have established charging stations in the company premises, so that if the employee is having an electric vehicle, he can charge it at the premises. And when the public is then allows for mass adoption. Common electric vehicle myths. Plug-in electric vehicles can only support short trips, not daily commutes. The average is 40 miles or less, and most full battery electric vehicles are targeting close to 100 miles range on a full charge, and with plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, you can go even further up to 300 miles or more. Electric vehicles will make your energy will go up slightly. High electric bills are offset by saving the gas pump. This would be like filling up for a few cents per mile compared to the average of a traditional car. Plug-in electric vehicles aren't clean. Instead of burning gas, they run off dirty power plants. Even when emissions from a power plant are taken into consideration, electric vehicles contribute significantly less greenhouse gases than traditional cars. electric vehicles are far more expensive than average car. Federal tax incentives are available and as well as possible. Compared to gas-powered cars, you will save on fuel maintenance and repair costs. There are some new. This is. Then there is an many at times in news is autonomous Google car. So Google is working on having a complete autonomous car wherein the driver will not be required. So we are looking for the future in this wherein all the cars will be driverless in say a decade or so. Then Tesla is also coming to India. Soon we will be seeing it in India. Then Stella Lux is energy positive family car. It generates more energy than it consumes during the entire year. So these are all concept vehicles which are under development, and we will see that something or the other is coming. And we can have question answer session right now. We can go ahead with question answers and then we can sum up the session.
Any participants having the questions may ask to the speakers. Yes, anyone having the question? Shaan, there is a one question having from Dr. Vipul Patel.
Yeah, I'll send that. I'll share it.
So if you know having the question, I conclude the session with remarks to Shaan that thank you very much, Shaan, for accepting our invitation as an expert lecturer for this faculty development program. And thank you for sharing the such a new information, what is the going on recently and what to be next. So knowledge about the advancement in automobile engineering. So such a nice really presentation for present participants. Thank you very much, Shaan, for joining with us and spend your valuable time for your busy schedule. Thank you.
Thank you, Yagnesh, and it was a pleasure for me to be a part of this session, and would look ahead for more such sessions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, bye bye. Bye everyone. Have a good day.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.